Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtianygo here. Sorry for no face cam on this one. I just want to go ahead and get this out to you guys real quick. So I want to go ahead and talk about how hand traps are going to be the best way, of course, to go ahead and counter the Snake Eyes deck. So I have here some Snake Eyes cards, and I want to go ahead and go over some of the benefits that these hand traps have. Of course, obviously, there's some real friggin' obvious ones like nib droll, obviously, but it's also all about timing. So I want to go ahead and go over with you guys real quick over how to time your hand traps to make sure that everything is hitting appropriately and make sure that you guys are maximizing on your value. So we're going to go ahead and talk about each one of these cards. I just thought that a more live view of them would be a little bit more beneficial. The only hand trap I don't have present on me right now is Infinite Impermanence because they're in my staples binder, but we'll just go ahead and use the Veiler and Ghost Mortar instead because I'll go ahead and talk about that as well. I'm not going to skip out on Imperm. But yeah, guys, so I want to go ahead and get right into it. So if you guys want to see a more board breaker approach to this, just go ahead and let me know in the comments. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. So these are the main cards you are going to be aiming to hit. I would not recommend hitting any Wanted or Diabellstar just because those are free special summons and it doesn't really benefit you to hit that just because they could also always have like a if they don't have a bonfire in hand for extension, ash in hand, especially in the pure Snake Eyes deck, there's just so many ways to go ahead and keep extending past just the Wanted and Diabellstar that I would definitely hold on to my hand traps for that scenario. Now, like I said, if you guys have any alternatives or you guys have any suggestions, of course, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always open to having a discussion with you guys as well. Let's go ahead and get into it with the first one I want to go ahead and cover. It's going to be Snake Eye Ash, right? So Snake Eye Ash, I think, is really important to make sure that you are hitting this card in some type of way because it puts them in a scenario of they better have it, right? So in the event, let's go ahead and talk about Imperm, Ghost Mourner, Effect Veiler, right? So if you Imperm, Ghost Mourner, or Effect Veiler the Ash, it puts in a scenario where they better have the Kieran to go ahead and dodge the effect negation because by obviously destroying this before targeting effect negation, then they're not going to be able to go ahead and negate the effect. You go ahead and search Poplar search you OSS, and you go off from there. And then you can also special summon back the Ash, or they can, and then it still activate the Ash effect. So as far as that goes, it puts them in a scenario where they have to have Kieran in hand in order to do a dodge or a enemy controller. So these, while are good along with Imperm in order to hit the Ash, I believe there are better ways, of course, and one of the best ways would be, of course, with Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. The Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, of course, is going to negate the effect to go ahead and search, but it doesn't negate the effect to go ahead and activate to send 2 cards to special summon out the Flamber's Dragon. So that's something you are going to be missing out on, unfortunately, but it's just what you have to go ahead and hit. Regardless, it still puts them on the they better have it deal, where if they have Ash and 4 hand traps in hand, then you are good to go to continue by your plays. You just have to deal through the 4 interruptions through the hand traps, but I mean, there's only so much you can do about that. Also, activating Droll and Lockbird on the Ash, I would not recommend. Just because they can just go ahead and keep playing, comboing off. And if you guys are curious about how that's done, you just go normal summon Ash, search Poplar, and go Poplar effect to summon. They go Droll. Okay, cool. Special summon out Poplar. Still activate Snake Eye Ash effect to special summon out Oak. Oak Chainlink 1, Poplar Chainlink 2. Go like this, special summon because of the Oak, they have 2 monsters on the field, boom, you make the activate Oak effect, actually send these 2, make Flamber's Dragon, that's special summon directly from the deck, and you have Flamber's Dragon, Ash, go into IP Masquerena, Flamber's Dragon is going to activate in the graveyard to go ahead and summon out these 2, and then you get to go ahead and go full combo from there. So that's how you play around Droll and Lockbird real quick with the Ash Blossom in the event you guys did not know, but that's where the other hand traps comes in, of course. So Droll and Lockbird I would not recommend. If they just go Ash and Search, I would probably hold on to this. Maybe I'm crazy for that, but if you have any of these 3 or Imperm in your hand, I 10 out of 10 would activate. So let's go ahead and move on from Ash. Next is going to be the Poplar. So Poplar is a really good card, of course, because it does get you immediate access to the original Swinful Spoils. And if the first thing they do is normal summon Poplar, that's something that you're definitely going to want to capitalize on. Is you are either going to obviously Ash Mourner, Ash Veiler, imperm that, of course, and then this is something I would activate Drone Lockbird on, just because yes, they can go original Swiftfoot's Boy, summon out Oak. And then what's it called, Poplar in the Spell and Trap Card zone, activate effects. It's a special summon out Flamber's Dragon still, but they don't have that additional body on board that they are going to need. That's the thing with the Ash, is you activate normal summon Ash, and then you activate the effect. Poplar is immediately going to give you 2 bodies onto the field, so you can go ahead and at least try to start doing some comboing off. Whereas if you draw and lock this, then you get just overall much better value from it, right? So that's obviously what you're going to want to go ahead and do. And again, it puts them in a scenario where they better have the additional extender. So it really just matters on what they activate first. Another card I don't have right here, but you are going to want to hit, depending on when they activate it, it's going to be Bonfire. So if Bonfire is the very first card that they do activate, you are going to want to Ash Blossom that, or Droll it or whatever, because if they activate Bonfire as the very first thing they do in that turn, then something isn't right, because there's no real reason as to why they would activate Bonfire first, playing directly into Drone Lockbird. So I would Ash that immediately on the spot if you get the chance, just because that then telegraphs to me, at least, that they don't have any other better lines or better extenders, and they have to activate Bonfire to go ahead and search Ash. So we're gonna go ahead and keep on going here, guys. The Snake Eye Oak is also a choke point. Also, in the event you guys want to, let me go back to Snake Eye Ash, is also a choke point when you activate either of these two's effect to go ahead and send 2 cards from the field to special summon the Flamberge. You can just Ash Blossom that, and then they don't gain that value from it. Plus, they go -1 on that. Plus, because you're getting rid of the Snake Eye Ash, right? In the Snake Eye Ash effect, you have Snake Eye Ash, and you have the Poplar and Spell and Trap Card zone. You activate Ash, send these 2. And then you get Ash Blossomed, and then you lose 2 cards compared to your 1. So that's something that is absolutely huge. As far as, again, something we've covered before, or more of a emphasis on this past week or so, which is just card economy overall. So Snake Eye Oak and Snake Eye Ash both have that same issue. Also, Snake Eye Oak's effect to go ahead and special summon back from the graveyard is something that you can Ghost Spell, but I would definitely save my Ghost Spell for when they activate the Flamberge Dragon effect, which is something that I want to go ahead and get into real quick as well, because I think Snake Eye Oak and Ash have the same deficiencies, right? So Snake Eye Flamberge Dragon, right? So this is a card obviously really good because you get to go ahead and special summon out your or take cards from the graveyard, put them in the Spell and Trap Card zone, and special summon out to your field. So obviously that effect's really good. In the event that you can Veiler, Mourner this, I highly recommend Mourner, especially so, just because it's something that they are going to be sending to the graveyard to try to gain more advantage. So Mourner is, of course, going to be able to go ahead and put that little more of a barrier between your life points. So that's really, really nice, of course. During your opponent's turn, if they want to activate Flamberge Dragon, you can either imperm the Flamberge Dragon, or you can also imperm the IP that they're going to bring out off Flamberge Dragon, but I'll probably just go ahead and imperm the Flamberge Dragon so that they can't bring that out. So that's something that is going to be very, very huge, and why imperm definitely needs to be involved in here. But the second they go activate Flamberge Dragon, it opens you up to not only Ghost Bell, where you maximize that as well, because you're again trading 1 for potentially any one of these 2 coming out. So that's obviously really, really huge as well. But also after they Flamberge Dragon, I feel very, very comfortable activating Nibiru, just because, of course, that is the main point of emphasis with the Snake Eye deck, is that once they have Flamberge Dragon on the field, they feel like they are Nibiru proof, because second you Nibiru, this gets into the graveyard, and then they obviously get 2 monsters. They can just keep extending that way as well. Make a Hida, take your Ash, go into the Promethean Princess, take it from there. So in the event you can activate Nibiru after they go ahead and summon this, and you're good to go from there. Also, I would not activate Nibiru if they have a Promethean Princess on board, just because Promethean Princess locks you into fires, which means they cannot make Appaloosa, and if they can't make Appaloosa, then they can't negate Nibiru. So I would go ahead and wait for them to summon out 1 more time under the fire lock. So that means they're probably going to make Raging Phoenix, or they're going to make the Ambler Whale after that, or if they want to go into like Salamangreat, what's it called, Sunlight Wolf, whatever it might be, I will let that go through. if it means I can go ahead and Nibiru right after, because the second they make Appaloosa, this is absolutely garbage card. As are the rest of the hand traps, unless you got Imperm. When you got Imperm, then you're just nice. Or Effect Bailer, technically, because the Appaloosa can activate one per chain. So that's going to be really good as well. But Nibiru is going to be absolutely clutch as well the second, again, you activate the Flamber's Dragon. Or, like I said, I would probably hold off until that's the thing with the Snake Eye deck. It doesn't really put up any negates except for Appaloosa. It just destroys a whole bunch of your stuff, and Arvada, I guess, of course. So if you can go ahead and Nibiru, time it right so that you can nib right before they make Appaloosa or before they summon back the Arvada, I would think is absolutely the best way to go ahead and maximize on Nibiru, as we saw Pac do in the feature match that go ahead and posted yesterday, where he goes in time and he waits for his opponent to go clean off with the Snake Eyes deck, and then Nibiru's right as he's going into the battle phase, because he knows that he's not making the opponents not making Appaloosa, because if he did, then obviously I think Pac would have lost that round. But the last thing card, guys, is going to be Original Sinful Spoils. This is a card you're definitely going to want to Ash the second that it activates. Again, it's another choke point as well, where you're getting rid of 2 cards essentially in order to be able to go ahead and trade off. So Original Sinful Spoils says you guys send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard as a cost. So that means that if they have Oak on the field, whatever. So they activate Original Sinful Spoils, go ahead and get rid of Oak to activate, you get Ashed, and you cannot activate, first of all, you don't get the special summon off Original Sinful Spoils, and also you cannot activate the other Original Sinful Spoils effect in order to search for a level 1 fire, because only one is a hard one to return for the effects, so you can only choose one or the other. So that's gonna be it for the video itself, guys. I don't want to make this too long, but I just want to go ahead and show you guys some few key choke points for you to use your hand traps. Like I said, I think the most impactful ones are going to be Ash, Bell, Veiler, Mourner, as far as specific points of interaction that you can actually just go ahead and abuse to try to shut down your opponent's entire turn. But then Nibiru is also really clutch as well to cap it all off at the very end. You can actually hold on to these in your hand and potentially even not activate them that turn if you have Nibiru, because a well-timed Nibiru will go ahead and do pretty much everything that these guys are doing. Only thing they'll do is just have additional resources in the graveyard, which isn't the best. Droll feels like the most lackluster of all these hand traps, unfortunately, because the deck can just play around it so well. But it is a card you are still going to want to have, of course. It's a, I want to say, auto win button against a lot of other decks in the format as well, so it's really nice to have. Also against, I want to say, half potentially the hands that Snake Eye has if they don't normal summon Ash. If you droll it, then you're fine. You're absolutely fine, because if they activate Bonfire Search the Snake Eye Ash and you droll, then they're cooked. They can't do anything else, because they don't get that body on board. They don't get that free special summon. So that's something that I would say Droll Lock was really good. But I would say in the event you guys want to get spicy with your hand traps, DD Crow is a really good one. Skullmeister might also be a fun one as well, that are not going to get Crossout Designator, which is obviously a big plus as well in order to have those. Ghost Mourner, I think, is coming to rise a little bit more in popularity, so I would not say that one. This one falls into that list. But yeah, Skullmeister, DD Crow, obviously are great ones you can definitely go ahead and activate and be able to take full advantage of. Yeah, I wouldn't play cards like Ghost Ogre though, just in case anyone has a question about that one. But another sister that I would go ahead and look into in the side deck is going to be obviously Spooky Dogwood. It's just crazy good card right now. The second they attempt to summon anything, you activate that card from your hand and you're good to go. You can even activate it against other decks as well, so it's going to be really beneficial for you, especially in that grind game. But that's going to be it for the deck. I was going to say deck profile. It's not deck profile. That's going to be it for the video, guys, for the interactions, hand traps, so you guys know more or less where the choke points are. If you guys already knew all this, then obviously that's perfectly fine. I just want to go ahead and do a little bit more of an introduction for those of us who maybe don't know nearly as much, or who don't keep up with the meta as much as other ones do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about these interaction style videos I want to make here and there. So if you guys like it, cool, let me know. Smash that like button, subscribe down below, and yeah, I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one.